السلام عليكم. لو في أحد برا أبو جنى بس عشان نبدأ ما حسب الجدول.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين، سيدنا ونبينا محمد عليه أزكى الصلاة وأتم التسليم. جامعة طيبة ممثلة بكلية التمريض ترحب بكم أيها الحفل الكريم في افتتاح ملتقى كلية التمريض الأول، والذي ينعقد احتفاء بيوم التمريض العالمي، فأهلا وسهلا بكم. ضيوفنا الكرام، خير بداية لكل بداية القرآن الكريم يتلوه الطالب نواف العوفي.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله الذي جعل لكم الأرض قرارا والسماء بناء وصوركم فأحسن صوركم ورزقكم من الطيبات. ذلكم الله ربكم فتبارك الله رب العالمين. هو الحي لا إله إلا هو فادعوه مخلصين له الدين. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
ضيوفنا الأكارم، والآن كلمة عميد كلية التمريض ورئيس اللجنة الإشرافية على الملتقى، سعادة الدكتور خالد بن عبد الله الجهني.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good morning everybody. Nice to have you here at طيبة University in the International Nursing Day. It's the first event to be held in طيبة University, and inshallah it will be on yearly basis here. I'm happy to say that away from protocols, we are here to celebrate our day. So please stay away from protocols, ask questions to presenters whenever you want, and the discussion is try to squeeze those speakers, do whatever you want. It's your day to enjoy. Let's agree on this rule, okay? Okay, the International Nursing Day is celebrating to enforce nurses' voice everywhere. And alhamdulillah, here in Medina, we got a lot of support either by Prince Faisal bin Salman, the governor of Medina region, and also by Ministry of Health, the Minister, Dr. by the President, Dr. Abdulaziz Al-Sarrani, and the Minister of Education. I would like also to extend my sincere thanks to all those who participated with us today from all Medina region healthcare sectors, King Faisal Specialist Hospital, National Guard, Medina Cluster, the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz Hospital, Al Haya Hospital, Saudi Germany Hospital. Sorry if I'm missing someone in the middle, but yeah, I already say Prince Sultan bin, yeah, a military hospital. I know military people are squeezing a lot in this area, so it's okay. So yeah, actually, I don't want to extend in our day or my speech, but it's my duty to extend the message to every nurse in Medina region. We should work together, not celebrating only one nursing day a year. We have to celebrate nursing rights, nursing promotion, nursing friendship throughout the year. There are a lot of opportunities around. However, what we have noticed during the last, maybe, let's say, 10 years, there are a lot of efforts, but it's scattered everywhere. We will never succeed if we don't come together and try to support each other in this journey. Luckily, the difference in this year, we got approval by Prince Faisal. It will be the Nursing Promotion Committee. We will work all around the Medina region. The members will be all those running nursing services, either in academic or in service, which is totally different game now. Now it's your role. I'm not talking about nursing leaders only. I'm talking about nurses themselves. I'm talking about nursing students, academics. Everybody must participate and bring something to the committee, to the agenda during the year. I was in discussion with Anne from King Faisal Specialist Hospital, and she was explaining about the approach of transformational leadership. Ahmed Khaibari talking, I tried to put load on you guys, sorry. Yeah. Ahmed Khaibari talking about universal training for the internship programs all around the Medina region that will include King Faisal and Minister of Health. So there are a lot of opportunities here. We have a lot of research performed by طيبة University peoples here. The Hajj only 2 months is coming in the front, so we have to prepare more nurses for this great event. So we have a lot to do together. So I'm expecting everybody to participate. We will have a friendly discussion again and again. The last message I want to deliver here that I would like to thank also the Base Links for their sponsorship for the events, and we will have a discussion as a family. Okay, if you think there is something can be done, okay, just reach me or reach anybody from the leaders here or academics here to express your idea. We will listen, we will put it on our agenda. We will have friendly discussions on the break outside. So just come and present yourself, give your idea. Either you are a staff nurse or a student, whatever you are. We need to hear from you guys. Okay? So I would like to extend my speech. Dr. Muhammad is squeezing me too. Where is he? Thank God he's not around now. He's here. Okay, thank you very much, guys.
الحضور الكرام، نبدأ على بركة الله بأولى فعاليات الملتقى، الجلسة الأولى، والتي يديرها سعادة الدكتور محمد بن سعيد الجهني، وكيل كلية التمريض للدراسات العليا والبحث العلمي ورئيس اللجنة العلمية للملتقى، فليتفضل مشكورا.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الدكتور خالد طول شوي في الكلمة حقته، ففي عقوبة إن شاء الله في البرزنتيشن إن شاء الله ونخصمها عليه ال5 دقائق دي. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. إن شاء الله our يعني as you know the timetable for the presentation or for this symposium is consisted of 2 parts. The first part is a 4 interesting presentation, and the second part is a discussion panel. We'll start immediately by presenting the first speaker for today. Again, Dr. Khalid Al-Jahani. He will speak about nursing education in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Khalid is Associate Prof, and he's the Dean of Nursing College. So all the nursing students should clap for Dr. Khalid because he's the Dean. Dr. Khalid has an extensive work experience as a clinical nurse and also in nursing education. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Khalid. Just I forget to tell you that all questions will be postponed to the end of the 4 presentations. So keep your questions ready for the end of the discussion or the panel.
Okay, here we are in education again and presenting the in brief about nursing education in Saudi Arabia. First, I would like to tell something about the story of this article. Whenever I attend a symposium in Saudi Arabia or also in GCC countries like Kuwait, and those who say something about Saudi education system, it was always conflicting information. And I have attended one of the courses about 2 years or 3 years ago at one of the universities, and I found one of the nursing leaders talking about nursing education, and all the information was given was misleading. When I approached the speaker after the presentation, and I told her that even though you are out of the context, you are not from Saudi, and you present a lot of information, which I believe is misleading information. I would like to know, how did you get to this information? And she simply told me that I already take it from friends, those who was working, plus whatever was published. She did her job, honestly. At that point, I found that there is a gap. We did not do our job in documenting nursing education. I'm a bit one of those love history. And as I remember in Khaibari before, I was looking for the oldest primary healthcare center building in Medina region. And then I found that in Khaibari. And I tried to look after, investigate who was operating there. And they told me Dr. Hassan al-Masri, Dr. Muhammad al-Ghamdi. They give me names, but I tried to figure out who are they. There is no information. So if there is anybody got information about nursing in Medina or in Saudi Arabia, please just give it to me. So at that point, I decided to do my job rather than just criticizing others. Let's do something. That's why I brought up this presentation. It was published in the Curas journal, I think 2 years or 3 years. I'm not sure about it, but you can search the literature and find it there. So in brief, as Dr. Muhammad, I'm running the swatch, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm on time. Here we will see the طيبة University campuses around Medina region, Al-Ula, خيبر, الحناكية with the 3 locations, مهد الذهب, بدر, وينبع. So if you notice here that we have the capabilities, we have the infrastructure that we can work on different places at the same time, and that is an opportunity. We have to utilize it for nursing development, and that's what we are planning to do. Here I brought you pictures of the nursing, and these are the oldest pictures I have got. The oldest. If someone got something, please share it with me. In the right side, you can see that they are accompanying a lady, I think from Jeddah, for the something like they started the services here, the nursing services. And you can see also the nurses uniform. You see also the lady uniform at the time. How many nurses? MashaAllah, 4, I think, which is luxury, right? Yes, there was no shortage of nurses at the time. And on the left side, also, you can see that one of the nurses working on the machine and trying to make it as an advance, which is, yeah, sterilization, I think now it's totally different era. So, and that was the title. The journal name was Al-Musawwar. It was, I think, was on King Saud time, as I remember. So this is just in case, and as a brief here, this is one of the discoveries that I found. I was so glad that to know that nurses already published in 1956, the first Saudi nursing publication. So it was before any other publication in health in Saudi Arabia. And I hunted down till I got the American Journal of Nursing. If you'll see on the left side that the journal and all the information, you can reach it there. Ibrahim, I think his name was Ibrahim Abdulaziz. He's the one here in the picture, and he's trying to take the pulse, I think, from the patients. And the story here is simply giving you a story here. If you go, all the development during this time, it was so interesting to find this journal. And I thought someone knows. When I put that through Twitter, it was shocking. Everybody's communicating with me, even one nurse historian from UK. She told me what a discovery, and she kept that one, which is good. I'm so happy that at least I bring something good to nursing by chance. We'll go again. Here is the development, if you can take the picture away, thank you. So we're starting from 1948, nursing classes at the Arabian American Oil Company by the American nurse, male. So they brought a male nurse to the oil company that on the time of oil discovery in Saudi Arabia. So it was suddenly started when they brought the employee, they brought a nurse to take care of them. That nurse decided to teach others and start the nursing education profession in Saudi Arabia. It was mainly male. 1 year later, the class is supported by another nurse educator came from India, also male. So why it's male? I think because it was oil company in the desert, so it was all male at the time, and maybe that was the reason after that. Then in 1950, nursing school was established by Saudi government and the oil company. So they say, okay, this is a good idea, so let's do it together. So they try to expand. And if you notice all the information that I got from the same reference, the guy who wrote that one, Jazakallah khair, it was really good documentation. The school graduated 250 Saudi and 6 American male nurses. So we start the production now. In 58, the Saudi government, 3 secondary level health institute, as you can see, and they established secondary, because when they start just to take people inside, and then they said after school 6 years, and they say after secondary schools, I think in 1992, they said no, after the high school. So they start to develop the move of nursing education. 61, Jeddah with 2 secondary schools. 76, College of Science King Abdulaziz started with a female. In 80s, they started King Saud, what does the master program. Also King Saud in 80s, well, it was King Saud mainly performed a very good job at the nursing education when they start the female education on the bachelor level. Again, when they start the master education for the female, and also when they start master education for male. So it was all led by King Saud University, which is so interesting. The late that maybe in 2006, which is was also a good time that for male students to continue their education for a bachelor level. Interestingly, maybe Dr. Mohammed Al-Jani remember that. When I was looking to continue my bachelor degree, there was no bachelor degree in Saudi Arabia on the Gulf region. When I explained this to higher authority in the kingdom, they was shocking why there is nothing. So I went to Australia to get that one. There was no bachelor degree at that time. So especially for students, guys, you are lucky. Now it's even if there is a PhD in 2019 it started, and we have some attendance here from such a program. علي العنزي وأيمن الكمالي يدرسون الله يوفقهم في البرنامج. We are expanding. It's better than before. I got 1 minute, sorry. So here just a classification of the colleges around the kingdom and in each region, ending with 39 colleges of nursing or sections in Saudi Arabia. Future direction, the NCAA, gladly that nursing college, we get the accreditation by NCAA last week. The international accreditation, like we are here, unlike our colleagues in other universities, we are applying for the European accreditation. We are moving towards competency-based education, and we have already applied what we call it EPA, which is Interest by Professional Activities, and it works well for the students. Hopefully, we can expand this in the future, soon in future, inshallah. E-learning expanded even after COVID-19, which is also expanding and get accreditation from identified body by Ministry of Education. Private nursing organization, it's growing, especially home care nursing. I think it's already starting to expand, and according to my knowledge, there are a lot of nursing home organization in the Western region, especially in Jeddah. However, most of them are run by physicians. I mean, they're visitors, not nurses, which I think a good opportunity for us to expand in the future as a private work, as a business here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Khaled. Our next speaker is Dr. Anne Blenden. Dr. Blenden is the Executive Director of Nursing Affairs at King Faisal Specialist Hospital Research Center at Medina Branch. Dr. Blenden is a registered nurse with more than 20 years experience in leadership, and she's a passionate in monitoring and coaching new leaders, especially in transforming self through values. She will present about the wholehearted nursing. Please join me to welcome Dr. Blenden. Just give me a second to. So this is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and I'm honored to have been here, to be here and to see so many nurses. And thank you, Dr. Khaled. Sorry, thank you. I need a stall. Thank you, Dr. Khaled, for this amazing event, and just to be with everybody and walking around and to hear Dr. Khaled and his vision, and to see طيبة University leading in how we're going to transform healthcare in the region. We have an amazing opportunity. We're all well aware of the 2030 vision, and I know that Medina is going to stand out as a shining light and lead the way we're going to transform and work together to ensure that the nurse leads the way she should, and work and is skilled as the way she should and love her work and to serve the patients of the region. So thank you for this invite. I'm looking forward to this collaboration and seeing more and more of you either in the workplace, in your workplace, or just in your leadership role. Thank you very much. So firstly, let's admit it. We live in a VUCA world, one that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and with ambiguity. And more, we need resilient nurses. And so what are resilient nurses? Sure, in a crisis, we show up and we solve and we can sort out the crisis. But resilient nurses is just the way you show up every day at work. And what does it take to be a resilient nurses? So we have this amazing vision for 2030. And firstly, we see you, we thank you for your resilience the last 2 years. But what I'm here to do is to inspire you on how you live a wholehearted life, on being a resilient nurse, that you show up every day at work, that you can cope with your daily activities, because nursing is an amazing profession, yet there are times that it becomes very stressful. And I'm here to inspire you on how you live a wholehearted life. So we're going to see it as going through your life as guideposts as such. And there are two sides to a guidepost. There's one that what are you going to cultivate, the habit that you're going to do? And on the other side, what you need to let go of. Let me just see. What am I doing wrong? Got it. Sorry. So it's like being in a boat. When you get in a boat and you want to row on the sea of your life and your vision and your journey, you need to let go of the anchor. You need to let go of the rope that is tying you down. Your vision and the way you are going is your guidepost of what you want to cultivate and the habit that you want to grow. The thing that keeps you from moving forward is that rope that is tied down, or the other side of the coin that doesn't allow you to move forward in your life and become a wholehearted nurse. And if you don't untie those negative parts or let go of the things that tie you down, your progress is going to be slow. And so we talk about the guideposts of your life. It's the North Star. It's not a destination you're trying to get to. It's the way of life. You know that you're on the right track. You'll feel it and you'll enjoy your nursing career more and more. As Brené Brown said, wholeheartedness is hard, but not fully living our lives is much harder and much more dangerous. So let's look at guidepost number one. Guidepost number one is what you need to cultivate is authenticity and let go of what other people think. Be yourself. Ask yourself, what skills should I practice every day? And even write down in a journal, I am at my best when and live that life and practice it as such. Don't keep thinking about what other people think. Know who you are and embrace it. Of course, that's being vulnerable, but by stepping out to who you are as a nurse, you'll live a more wholehearted life. And you as a nurse will show up ready to embrace your career and your daily challenges. Your second guidepost is cultivating self-compassion. We as nurses automatically are compassionate to our patients and our colleagues, but I want to encourage you to have self-compassion for yourself. Very important. And it has 3 elements. First is self-kindness. Do unto yourself like you would want to do unto others. It's very important to look after yourself. The humanity. Remember, whatever you're going through in your life, you're not alone. There are the people that share similar challenges or been through similar experiences. We are not alone. And the third is acknowledge the feelings that you're going through. Feelings are temporary in a situation, but by knowing and acknowledging that feeling, you are acknowledging yourself as a person, as a nurse for the situation that you're going through. When you embrace these 3 practices or habits, you find yourself showing up as a much better version of yourself and a much more powerful nurse with a great vision, with a great voice. And even if you make mistakes, you are able to cope with the situation. So remember, do unto yourself that you would do unto the others, and accept your feelings without judgment. Guidepost number 3 is about that resilient spirit. Resilience is your ability to overcome adversity no matter what is happening in your life. We all make errors, make mistakes, or have setbacks. Life is life. But we as nurses are problem solvers, and we have each other to lean onto. A colleague that is you're busy studying with, an intern that is working with you in the hospital, or just a nurse that you're working with. We are never alone. And by talking to each other, we become a force to be reckoned with, and we become more and more resilient. But then on the other side, we have what's called numbing. Numbing are those things that hold us back. Our cell phones, our social media that we love to play. Should have had my cell phone in my hand, sorry. Just watching TV or eating too much. So be careful. Always ask yourself, am I going for comfort, or am I actually got the courage to embrace the situation I am finding myself in? The 4th guidepost is gratitude and joy. When you are grateful, you are joyful. Many years ago when I came into this country, and I thank every day for the opportunity of being part of the Saudi nursing fraternity, somebody said, you're always smiling. You must have a very high salary. And I was an educator. I said, no, I love my work, no matter what's happening. And that was in 2006. And I'll never forget this person that thought, I must be earning so much money. I think life is just fun. No, nursing is fun. So that's why I'm talking about how to be a resilient nurse by embracing some of these positive attitudes. So just remember, there's no such thing as having not in too good of a thing. Believe that this belief comes from a place of scarcity. Gratitude for every situation allows you to experience the joy of your life. Every Friday of my life, I have a gratitude board at home, and I ask myself, what am I grateful for? Grateful today for having the conversations I've had with Dr. Khalid. Grateful for meeting a lot of you, because that way I become richer, and I as a nurse am more resilient and can stand tall. So notice what you are grateful for. Write it down, journaling is great, or just acknowledge it and become prouder and prouder of being a nurse. The 5th guidepost is intuition and trust in faith. We as humans always want to have a certainty. We want to know 10 o'clock this is going to happen, 12 o'clock I need to give the meds, and so forth. But sometimes you need to just follow your gut feeling and the situation and know that you are on the right track. If you're constantly bombarded by media and thoughts of others, you lose track of who you are. So remember, be true to yourself and say, who am I as a nurse? The 6th guidepost is cultivating creativity. There's no such thing as creative people and non-creative people. They're only people who are practicing creativity and those that don't. Children are the greatest examples. They can play and be creative for hours with no intuition of who's questioning their creativity. But we as humans come to a point and suddenly our brain starts switching and thinking, oh, that person's more creative than me, or somebody's judging me or questioning what I'm doing. No, nurses, be creative at work. Think of the creative and intuition ideas of changing some of the practices. That's why we do research. We look at what's great evidence-based. So don't fear creativity. Bring it to your workplace. Bring it to the way you learn. Bring it to being a great nurse. The seventh goalpost is about rest and play. This has two parts. One is play. We often, as human beings, think that play is time spent without purpose. But unless you embrace play, you yourself won't fill up your glass, because we can't go to work with the glass half empty. We need to be ready to embrace whatever's coming our way, and we need to be there for each other. So play is opposite of how most of us see life as achievers. We have this goal, but to be able to recharge our batteries, we need to know how to play. And that way, we're ready to be the resilient nurse that is called for as we go on this journey of 2030. So the same goes for rest. We often say we'll sleep when we die. No, that's not true. We need to rest now so that we're there for each other. The eighth goalpost is about calmness and stillness. Imagine a pot of boiling water and you want to cool it down. So you put a block of ice in it and it slightly cools it down, but it starts boiling straight away again. You look for more ice, or you look for a bigger ice. Isn't that the same we do with anxiety? We believe we all have got situations in our life and are anxious, and we think of different ways of trying to cope with it. But no, as a nurse, learn how to turn the heat down so that you become more resilient. And in that way, you're able to handle your life and be this powerful nurse with a voice. So how do you do that? Sometimes just with sitting still or self-meditation. 2 minutes a day of who you are and knowing and introspection will make you stand taller and carry on to be this amazing nurse. Goalpost number 9 is about cultivating meaningful work. We all have skills and talents. Know what they are. Share that with each other. It might be a talent that you had no idea that you actually had. Know what your strengths are and know what your talents are, and go embrace them and start using them. Before you know it, some of you will become educators. In a couple of years, when we talk again, we'll see the amazing work that you've done. So embrace it and commit to your gifts and talents, because we all have them. Reflect on what they are, and just because we need people that come alive, and more we need nurses who are alive and come alive at work. And our last guidepost is about cultivating laughter, song and dance. Just like play and rest, without laughter, song and dance, you are not going to be that resilient nurse. Learn how to celebrate and inspire each other. Know that we're not alone. Reach out to other friends and learn how to communicate and share your stories, because that way you become alive and you're full of energy and you enjoy your work more and more. Don't be worried about what people think when you're doing something goofy, like singing a song or dancing with your girlfriends or whatever it is, but just laughing together, you'll be able to charge that battery and become more and more a resilient nurse. So in closing, life is a journey. Take time to look for your wholehearted signposts. Ask yourself now, what am I doing well? Celebrate it, keep doing it. But what if I gave 5% more? Or which one of these guideposts would stretch me? Embrace some small activity that you think you can do even better and become the resilient nurse that we need. Because in our vision for 2030, we need each and one of you, and we need you to be resilient for the wholehearted life that we are going to embrace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ann, for the empowering presentation. I think there is a lot of question will be directed to you at the end of the session. Our next speaker is Mr. Ahmed Khaibari. He is the Program Director for Nursing Professional Practice and Research at King Faisal Specialist Hospital and Research Center. He is a certified professional coach. He graduated from King Saud. He had a master degree in nursing management and education. He has a leadership and management program certified from King Faisal Hospital and Research Center in Riyadh. He's an lead certified from Houston Methodist Hospital, Texas in 2013. He worked as associate executive for nursing development in King Faisal. Mr. Khaibari will present about a research project entitled Determining the Effect of Traditional Learning Approach and Interactive Learning Activities on Personal and Professional Factors among Saudi nursing interns. Please welcome Mr. Ahmed Khaibari. Here we go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sabah al-khair and good morning. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for this introduction. And would like at the beginning to thank you all for attending. And I would like also to extend this thanks to Dr. Khalid for this invitation and this great gathering. And we hope, inshallah, we get out of this event with, a great information gained, inshallah. I chose this topic to be shared with you all because I believe this is going to be the talk of the town in the coming days. Because as Dr. Khalid mentioned, there are a lot of work going nowadays from the highest level of leadership here in Medina to invest in the nursing and especially nursing education and transitioning nurses from being students to being as an efficient registered nurses, inshallah. So this is a study was done between 2017, 2019, was published in 2020 during the pandemic. I would like to appreciate all the team who worked with me, starting with Ms. Fatin Ramadan. She's a lecturer and she's very interested in transitioning nurses. Also, Professor Ahmed Abu Shaiga, he's actually was the mentor of the team during this study. And also Dr. Omar from King Saud University in Riyadh, and also two colleagues, young colleagues that work with us to see this study from another perspective, Ms. Salwa Zatri and Mr. Salim Zatri as well. So why we went through this study, we know there is a variation in the quality of students, and we believe this is happening because of the quality of the nursing colleges and the variation between the private sector and the governmental sector, the universities that been providing this kind of education for a long time, and the colleges that just started. So from my perspective, when I was working with the fresh graduate and interns, we found that it is really hard to hire the high qualified new graduates, and this is is going to be a big concern for the hospital, because there is a huge demand on the number of nurses, to increase the number of nurses, the qualified nurses, plus the Saudization. So the supply of the nurses here in Saudi Arabia more depending on the fresh graduates. And to have a fresh graduate, so you need, then you need another program in your hospital to make this transition, which is really costly. Dr. Khalid mentioned about the unique nursing program in Saudi Arabia, which is we are studying like 5 years, okay, including the internship, and still we need a transitioning program after that. So this is a very long time to prepare a nurse for to be functional in the area. So we said, as a group, we need to just go through what's going on and what we can do. Not only there are a lot of studies here in Saudi Arabia raising the issue. Okay, we are really aware about what's going on, what's the issue, but what did we do, what we have done for this to move forward. So this is the aim of this study, is to determine the impact of the traditional and interactive learning activities on personal and professional development among Saudi intern nurses. We chose the intern nurses because the intern nurses, they already done the 4 years of education, theoretical and practical skills, and now they are in the transitional period, and they will be the when they are fresh graduates, they will work in the hospitals. So we chose this group, and we chose an interactive strategy of different modalities than what we are doing. We are most of the education we have is instructor based learning, where the instructor is determining the learning and the learning needs, while the learner is passive in this process. So we said, why we don't just flip it a little bit and give the learner more room to be participant in this learning process. So it took place in King Faisal Specialist Hospital in Riyadh, and we started with different approach to the interactive learning. So the study assumes, this is the conceptual framework, that the interactive learning activity has an impact on the competency development of the Saudi nurses interns according to personal and professional factors. So we believe that after reviewing the literatures, that interactive learning approach can make the difference. So the independent variables are the method of teaching, whereas the dependent variables are the component of the personal and professional factors. The components of the professional factors are the enthusiasm, initiative, realistic confidence, competence with staff, competence with clients, theoretical knowledge, critical thinking, self-control, patient assessment, and care documentation, informing and educating patients. So we designed that in the hospital, the program, we made it in this category. So a comparative research design was adopted to measure the effects of traditional learning and interactive learning, classroom-based learning, which is lecturing and preceptorship. This is will define the traditional learning. And the comparison were another hospital in Saudi Arabia, it was in Riyadh. It's similar program when we used to do the traditional learning. So then we changed our program where we compared these two learning methodologies. So sorry. So we meant to answer two questions in this study. Is what is the impact of traditional and interactive learning activities on the nurses, newly graduated nurses and the interns, and to what extent interactive learning activity can be effective for Saudi nursing interns through the nursing training. So as I mentioned about the settings, two hospitals in Riyadh, and the population, we choose the interns I mentioned in the beginning, and this include criteria where nurses having Saudi nationality, identified as interns by affiliated schools and healthcare institution, and join the national internship program for 12 months. When I say national, it's not, there's no unified program, but I mean locally in Saudi Arabia. The nurses were randomly selected from different clinical areas. We chose in medical, surgical, critical care, and pediatric. The estimated sample was 48. So we chose 60, to go above 48. At the end, we managed to get 48. They are divided equally in the two programs. So we find a study that shared a clinical assessment tool for nursing education. It's a very nice rubric tool, and helped us to achieve our objectives of this study. The assessment, this tool has got 13 items divided into 6 items for personal factors: enthusiasm, initiative, realistic, confidence, competence with staff, competence with the client, and also 7 items, which is documentation, informing and educating patients, clinical competence, patient assessment and care, theoretical knowledge, critical thinking, and self-control. So in data analysis, we use SPSS, and the score of the participant in personal and professional development were determined using descriptive statistics. T-test was used to determine the difference between the traditional and interactive learning methods. The results came like the hypothesis stated. So most participants in both groups were female, 66.7% in group 1 and 83.3% in group 2. Most participants in group 2 were 23 years old, and this is the characteristics of our interns. So enthusiasm was, all interactive learning activities, characteristics and components were significant high in the study. So it's proved that this kind of activities is very beneficial for the for our interns. Interactive learning activity showed better attitude of Saudi intern nurses in terms of caring, respect, and sensitivity toward the needs and well-being of their patient while considering personal factors. So, in conclusion, the study has compared the effects of clinical teaching strategies, including traditional and interactive learning activity among Saudi intern nurses based on the 13 items of the rubric. Katini, the study concluded that the overall score between the two groups were significantly different, where the intern nurses exposed to interactive learning activity scored significantly higher. The importance of professional development was observed from theoretical knowledge, critical thinking, self-control, patient assessment and patient care, clinical competence and documentation and informing. The activities in interactive learning were admirable to develop new nurses towards becoming clinically competent and to satisfy clinical performance. So this study, actually, it is helped us in improving our outcome of the program. In King Faisal, we invest a lot in the new graduates because in King Faisal, some of the criteria or one of the criteria to hire nurses is to have minimum of 2 experience, especially for international. But for Saudis, so this is to be in King Faisal as a specialized hospital where you deal with very complicated cases. You need a nurse who cover this gap in experience. So we go with a novice to expert model, and there we are transitioning the nurses, the Saudi nurses, to cover this gap, which is the 2 years experience, to take them to the competent level. So this initiative was very helpful. And now what we are doing is I'm implementing standards of the ANCC for PTAP, which is transitioning new graduates. So we are successfully in King Faisal Jeddah got the accreditation for this program, and we are implementing this across the corporate. And our hospital in Medina is one of the 3 sites where we focus on investing in the fresh graduates and also the students. And we had, meetings, collaborative meetings with Dr. Khalid, and inshallah another meeting. So this, inshallah, will be taken to the next, part of this event. And this is the study, and it's published and it's open access. So I will be, happy if you can, go through this in details. There are, deep, study and a lot of reading throughout the nursing students and interns. So thank you very much for listening, and I wish our event organizers the success for this day. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Khaibari, for the interesting presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Azrul Azam bin Abdulaziz. Mr. Azam is a nurse educator and nursing quality coordinator at Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz National Guard Hospital, with more than 21 years working experience. He's a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certified and certified in quality management system. He will share with us the result of a multidisciplinary project, improving first OR case starting time in main operating room at Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz Hospital in Medina. Please welcome Mr. Azzam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Distinguished guests, speakers, and ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see some familiar faces here that I know. They were interns in my hospital before because طيبة University love to send to your student to our hospital. So I always tell the student there, the intern student, when you want to become a student, you want to become a nurse, you have to start from the fundamental because you all are the future Saudi nurses. If you are not starting from the fundamental, what Miss N said, Dr. N said just now, you have to be creative. You have to be good in what have you do before you becoming someone. Because in the future, you will be becoming educator, managers, or maybe AEDs in the future. But without any fundamental knowledge, how you become a good nurses, right? So start from the fundamental, be a good nurse, okay? I'm your educator today, all right? All right. First of all, I want to thank all the organizer to invite me to present the quality project for today. This quality project was presented during the 9th International Nursing Conference in Jeddah. It was hosted by King Faisal Special Center. We won the quality project. Thank you so much. Okay. But after that, the quality project was a successful quality project. But after that, the pandemic came, so the quality project a bit slow and did not continue. Then after that, after this year actually, we continue again the quality project with a different method. Previously, you are using the PDSA method, but nowadays you are using the Six Sigma method. All right. So today we present to you the quality project improving starting time for first operating room cases in Pimbah main operating room. This is a quality project. This is not a research project. All right. So introduction for this project. So actually, due to several first OR cases in operating room Pimbah, the first cases only, from the time limit where it should start around 8 a.m. But the cases always come after more than 8 a.m. So we shouldn't, it causes a lot of things happen. And the KPI, the hospital, for the corporate, they introduced the KPI where to reduce this problem by introducing the benchmark that indicates goals to be achieved within 90% in the target benchmark, right? All right. So what happens actually? So you imagine now, you are in the main operating room department, right? In the main operating room department, we have 4 operating surgery room there, all right? Then they have a lot of cases there listed in different cases in each OR. So now, can you imagine the first cases in each theater always come late? What will happen? Delay happening, right? Patient maybe in the end of the cases will be cancelled, all right? So we discovered that cancellation of surgery for the following cases because of no OR time. I will explain to you what is no OR time. Cost to patient also, family members as well, because when the case cancel, they have to stay in the hospital. That brings costs to the patient as well and to the family members. What else? Utilization of OR time and also staff length of stay over time. The hospital need to pay more to the staff over time. So we increase the hospital cost as well. So this is reported cases due to delay starting time for first cases in main OR. You can see here, the cases cancelled due to OR time from July to December, not that much actually. The cases, we can see that around 7 cases cancel due to the no OR time. No OR time means that the last surgery cutting time will be 3:30 p.m. More than that, we will not start a surgery. All right. Now, what about this one? The overall minutes, the staff length of stay, average time around 55 minutes. So the staff have to stay in OR to make sure that all cases finish within the time. So they have to stay in OR. So OR nurses time of duty within 5 p.m., around 5 p.m. More than 5 p.m. is considered as a overtime. So the problem statement is that according to the 6-month retrospective study in main operating room census reported that starting from July 2021 to December 2021, all patients coming from the surgical ward to main OR shows that the highest percentage achieved ever in this study, only 66%, which is not achieved the target benchmark with this 90% due to several reasons. So we create this quality project and we have to aim this quality to make sure that we achieve our goals. So our goals is according to the SMART objective, which is the increase the compliance rate from first OR cases starting time in main operating room from 66% to 90%, which is our benchmark, by adhering accurately to OR starting time at 8 a.m. for all first cases coming from surgical ward starting from January 2002 to the end of June 2022. So this is our project method. As I told you before, this is quality project. This is not research project. It's quality project. So we are applying 6 Sigma method. Then tools to this problem. Okay, you are using DMITE. DMITE is the method in 6 Sigma, which is define, measures, analyze, control, and improve. So the tools that we're using here in project charter, check sheet, process mapping, cause and effect diagrams or Ishikawa diagram, Pareto chart, process improvement measures, including outcome process and balancing measures, and control charts. So these are the tools that we're using during the we initiate this quality project. So let us move the first method that is defined. So you can see there, this is the improvement project charter. Every quality project, students, when you go to, when you becoming a nurse, you want to become a quality nurse, you have to know when you start a quality project, you need to have a quality project charter, because it is like we guide you. So we will not go here, kida, here. No, we guide you, go to the straight path until you reach your goal. All right. So this is our quality. When we want to start our quality project, we have to do our project charter first. So, all right. Now, after that, in the same method also, we use the SIPO analysis. SIPO analysis actually is a developing high-level process flow. It's a tool that we to analysis basic method to identify what are we going to do. If you can see here, the SIPO analysis showing that there's a lot of nurses involved in this project. For example, the ward nurses, OR nurses, all personnel OR nurses, including OR nurses as well. So in this project, we involve a lot of nurses during the quality project when we initiate this quality project. Now, let us move on to the measures. Right. These are the tools that we use during the quality project. Pareto chart. Have you heard about the Pareto chart before? No, right? Okay, highlight, so no problem. When you come to hospital, you become a hospital, we will teach you all, no problem. All right. So according to this Pareto chart, actually it shows that they prioritize what we are going to, what are we going to solve the problem? What are the problems that we're going to solve first? So there's a lot of problems happening in OR. So we choose the highest number. For example, like we want to target around 90%. So the nearest 90% is around this one, 94%. So we target the surgeon lead to come to work, initial clinical visit, waiting for blood investigation, blood transfusion issues, and consent not taken. So these are the first 5 problems that you're going to solve first. Now, we have a lot of problems, we target these 5 first, all right, by using the Pareto chart. Now, after we measure everything, we analyze the result, okay, by using the fishbone. Fishbone is something that we can find what are the contributing factors that contributes to the problem. For example, we categorize each of the problem by machine, materials, methods, procedures, and manpower. So these are the problems that we identify. We can also, from here also, we can identify what are the project, what are the things that we can do to make sure that this problem reducing. Then we move to improvement by using the outcome measures, process measures, and balancing measures. If you can see here, our target here to make sure that the percentage of compliance to the starting time of first case in main OR starting at 8 a.m. Have to make sure that all the patient enter to main OR before 8 a.m. So more than that, it's considered late already. All right. So these are all the process measures and the balancing measures as well. Now, these are the things we do, project interventions, to make sure that we achieve our goals. First of all, we do an in-survey for all perioperative physicians, including the anesthesia, and nurses staff, patient escort, about the importance of wheeling in the patient at 8 a.m. Then, monitor the surgeon's attendance arriving to OR. Why? Because we identified that the highest numbers of contributing factors towards the OR late patient coming to OR because of the surgeon. We have to wait for the surgeon come to OR, then we can push the patient inside the OR. Sometimes the surgeon come late around 8:15, 8:10, so we have to wait. Patient had to wait at the reception area for around sometimes half an hour like that. So what we do, we monitor the surgeons. Who's monitor? The nurses monitor the surgeons' attendance. So we have the power. You can see that the nurses. Right. Consent completion of a day prior to the schedule, because sometimes we have problem with the consent, so we take a consent earlier one day, and the team leader, the nurses especially, we make sure that the consent are checked and also complete before they send the patient to OR. Monitoring all the average time preparing all the patient starting from surgical ward until patient will into operating room. And we will present all the data to the medical services necessary for their what you should do for each of their services. All right, this is the result from the quality project, and now in the control measures already. So from the run chart shows that the progress of the first OR cases starting in room 1 from January 2022 to February 2022. Both, you can see both here, it's a bit different. You can see there, we have 9 cases, we have 9 cases at the beginning of the starting project. It's not achieved the target time. Then we come to February, it reduced to 2 only. Not achieve the starting time. It shows that whatever we do in the quality project for this quality project is achievable. All right. So we don't have the result yet. The end of the result, we didn't count that the DPM or the defect per million opportunities and so process capability analysis yet. Later, in the end of April, we got the result. So conclusion lesson from this project: time management is important to avoid any delays in preparing patient for surgery. Collaboration with different disciplinary is the key to achieve target and goals, because successful implementation of the plans in this quality project, because nurses cannot work alone. Yeah, we have to work together with other multidisciplinary as well, the physician, the anesthesia, the patient escort, everyone. We cannot work alone. So actually nurses is like a center for everyone. So we have to divide ourselves with all the people. We're working together. All right. Utilizing Six Sigma as a method to improve system process to ensure continuous improvement. All right. As I mentioned you just now, from the PDSA, now we're using the Six Sigma project. The overall benefit of observe preventing delays of other scheduled cases improve the patient satisfaction as well, and improve the utilization of OR time. Patient satisfied when the cases finish, die in the same day, or maybe patient will not satisfied when the cases cancel. Furthermore, we aim to expand the project to other units as such as day surgery, endoscopy unit, and also areas that are sending the patients to the operating room. So inshallah, we're going to expand this quality project to the other departments, not in the operating room only. So this is my reference. That's all. Happy Nurses Day to all of you nurses. I wish you all the best. If you come to Pimba, our hospital, you are most welcome. I will I will be your educator there, inshallah. All right, thank you. And the question later we ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Azzam. Okay, it's now time for questions from the audience. المايك فينه؟ في مايك هنا ولا؟ طيب اللي عنده سؤال okay, they just raise your hand. هنا المايك عند الدكتور عبد العزيز. هنا بقى. دكتور عبد العزيز هنا قدام.
طيب السلام عليكم. First of all, I would like to thank the College of Nursing guided by Dean Khalid Al-Juhani for this day. I would like to thank colleagues coming from hospitals in the region for coming and investing in this day. My question is to the doctor, and I would like to thank you first for your nice presentation. It was very passionate. I know nursing is always about passion, and therefore, we have to be passionate with ourselves, with patients, with everybody. But don't you think COVID-19 have impacted nursing as an image, or maybe as an attitudes? Since we have a lot of students here, they are about to graduate. I was thinking about their attitudes toward the nursing profession. How is that, impacted by maybe the emerging of COVID-19? We know post-COVID, pre-COVID, we are really, having different directions, especially when it comes to nursing feelings. Don't you think that COVID-19, the pandemic itself, has contributed to the maybe changes in nursing attitudes at the hospital level, maybe, or maybe students level, maybe? I was thinking about this. What do you think about nursing attitudes toward nursing profession after COVID-19 from a clinical perspective, or maybe from the hospital side, the side that we cannot see as a faculties here? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. If you don't mind, I'll stand up that I can just, that's a loaded question, as they say. We could talk all day about the subject. First of all, I will reflect on, I'm attending last week the American Organization of Nurse Leaders Conference. And there are a lot of papers and case studies around the COVID. And the one question that kept coming up is exactly this type of question. And yet the answer is that nurses weren't scared the last 2 years of they themselves dying. They were more scared about their families at home. So, what do they bring from the hospital home? I found that very reassuring, because a nurse is something that you decide from your heart. And it's a very different profession and a passion. And it's beautiful to hear that despite the COVID, that nurses are still so passionate about their patients and their care. My own experience, I still find a percentage of staff that like, I don't want to work in the COVID ward. It's, I think, very much about allowing nurses to have a voice. What of that experience are you not scared? Are you scared of? We have to also be very practical. The world ran out of supplies in the last 2 years. And Saudi Arabia was nothing short of also being part of that. One day you'd have a PPE and the next day you didn't. And you battled to find masks. So once you started speaking to the nurses and you could alleviate and listen to them and alleviate what they were scared about, I don't think it's really changed. And I think nurses are more and more passionate now about what do we do for the community. I think one of our beautiful things that came out of the COVID is how do we serve the community more at their house? That we don't have to. Virtual nursing is one of the big topics that we in Saudi Arabia, we in Medina want to really invest in. A patient doesn't have to ride 150 kilometers just to come and see us in the hospital. How can we help them? So we have a beautiful opportunity. I think that COVID has made us more creative, and we want to hear from the youngsters, the young people, on how to use the technology. That doesn't mean I can't do technology. It's just that when you're young, you can think so much more out the box on some of these things. So I think it's really made us more creative. I don't think it's hurt our profession. It's really made us think out the box, and especially when it comes to virtual. We see the healthcare catchment area of this area is from here all the way to the north. And how many people up in the north don't have access to healthcare? So we need to be more and more creative. And that's what COVID's given us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Question from this side, or this side? تفضل. ممكن المايك الدكتورة.
Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Happy Nursing Day for us. And thank you all for your presentations. They are really interesting. My question is to Mr. Khaibari, which is about the education. You talked about the long of journey in the nursing program. And then, for example, we have another transition year as an example to implement it. But my question is about the study itself and exactly about the tool that you have used. How did you choose this tool? I'm just asking this question because you know that sometimes when you select your tool, it could give you a positive impact that you are looking for. So this is the first question. The second question is, what is your next action plan? So you have these outcomes which showed that the positive attitudes and the positive, I think 13 items that you have. So what is your next action plan? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Thank you very much for your two questions. So the tool, I'm not the only person who determined the tool. Actually, we are a team that I shared. We went through different tools, but we found that the rubric CATNE was excellent to tackle these clinical competences and also soft skills, which is very important for the nurse to obtain to be successful in their daily practice. So if you go through the study and go through the tool to see how much these components are actually what we are theoretically teaching them in the universities, but the issue is how we are going to evaluate these competences and the clinical based practice. So this is why we choose. There are a lot of tools, but this one met our criteria, not to prove our hypothesis, but to actually give us a clear perspective of these competences among our targeted population. And your second question is what's next step? So as I mentioned, we took this the initiative. It's before the pandemic, and we started the implementing the cyberogogy, which is e-learning. So in 2017, even before the pandemic comes, we invested in the flipped classroom. So the challenge in King Faisal at that time in Riyadh is to get more students and more interns. And you know that in Riyadh there is a lot of nursing schools and colleges, so which give the King Faisal two ways. Which the first one is the obligation toward the the nursing in Saudi Arabia, as King Faisal is a leading healthcare in Saudi Arabia and in the region. And the other one is we see it as opportunity to fill the gap of the demand of a number of nurses. So we took it to the next level. We went now through the, as I mentioned, ANCC standards to get this as international standard. So alhamdulillah, as I mentioned before, we got the second international program to be accredited outside of USA. This is our program in Jeddah, and we are working on this in Riyadh, and inshallah we'll start very soon in Medina بإذن Azza wa Jal. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Is there any question or we conclude? Okay. So we need to conclude this session because we are running late. I would like to thank all the speakers for their interesting and valuable presentation. Remember, they will be with us for the rest of this day. So any question regarding the presentations can be forwarded to the speakers. So we finished the first session, and inshallah we'll continue the second session after the break. Ali?
It's okay. Just to mention, guys, you can go to exhibition, see all our colleagues and partners there. After there will be a discussion. It's not a presentation. So prepare your questions, prepare whatever you want to, then we can proceed. What time is it? At 11 o'clock.
نعود لكم ضيوفنا الكرام ونقدم لكم الجلسة الثانية، وهي عبارة عن حلقة حوار ويديرها الدكتور محمد بن سعيد الجهني.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Our next session is a discussion panel. It's a kind of informal discussion. We'll give 5 minutes for each one of our guests to talk about anything they like related to the nursing, especially to the theme of this year. Then we have some questions or a area where we need to talk about. You can direct questions at any time. We seek your participation, active participation. As I told you, it's a kind of informal. We like to get some roadmap or identify challenges that face nursing in Saudi Arabia. Our guest for this session, Mr. Zaid Az-Zawi, is a Director of Clinical Nursing and Nursing Services in Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz National Guard Hospital. Dr. Nada Abou Ala, an Assistant Professor in Nursing Administration. She is the Vice Dean of Student Affairs. Also, we have Mr. Ahmed Khaibari. You all know him. He's from King Faisal Specialist Hospital Research Center. And Mr. Mohammed Al-Balawi, he is a Deputy Director of Nursing in King Fahd Hospital. So I'll give 5 minutes to each one of them. Then, as I told you, we try our best to make it informal, to just make it as a nursing dialogue. The good thing about our gathering today, it's from different areas. There is a governmental hospital, there is semi-governmental hospitals, there is private sectors. So we see, are we facing the same problems in nursing, or each sector has its own problems? So we'll start with Mr. Ahmed.
السلام عليكم جميعا. شكرا لك دكتور محمد. I wish that you started with our distinguished doctors and colleague Muhammad. Yeah, so he's saying that I'm very close to the heart. So Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Thank you very much for this gathering. I really feel proud and honored to be here, and we in this occasion of celebrating the nursing day. Actually, I hope that every day is a nursing day. Last year and the year before, it was called the year of nurses. I think we deserve to have this privilege, and it came after a lot of work has been done with the nursing leaders all over the world, fighting to get the nurses a voice to the front and to get the voice higher, to be heard by the people who are making the decisions. We believe that nurses, they can make the difference, and already made the difference, especially during the pandemic. Actually, the pandemic was fortunate for us and somehow because it supported the nurses to be in the front, shining in the front. And I believe that we as nurses, we took this opportunity very serious, and that's why we are here today. We are, together talking about how much we are adding value to the healthcare systems. I will speak about the, our situation and nursing situation in King Faisal Specialist Hospital. King Faisal Specialist Hospital is one of the organizations all over the world that really taking care of its nurses. They provide, great support to the nurses. And I worked for King Faisal for more than 20 years, and I always have a voice, for a long time, because there is a great system that supports the nurse to lead and to have a voice. King Faisal Hospital started with, putting the nurses in the front line, in the decision making, where we have executive director of nurses for a long time in Riyadh, in Jeddah, and now in Medina, this is something is very important to have the nursing voice at the level of a decision making. Also, in King Faisal, we were, very concerned and taking it serious toward, supporting the nurses in general, where when we started like magnet journey, and we got magnet accreditation for the 2 sites in Riyadh and Jeddah to be the first, hospitals in the region, besides some, another hospital in Lebanon, I believe. So this is where we are taking care of nurses. I wish also now I will, this is continuing, but because I have maybe still 4 minutes to talk, 2 minutes. So now, what is happening? What's happening in Saudi Arabia, and where we should focus? I believe we have great nurses, but how they can make them shine, how we can support them as in the academic sector or in the clinical sectors, how we can support this transition and how we can get this connected. I believe it's a collaborative work has to be done. There are a lot of work has been done already, but I believe this is not enough yet. I started as a new graduate, like maybe all of us in the clinical area. We really needed the support. I found the support at King Faisal, where my colleagues in other areas, other hospitals, they feel that they will say, we wish to be there. Why is only King Faisal, for example? Why is only National Guard? Why it is? Why we don't have a consistent, transitioning programs where we can support this group? Why we don't have collaboratively working together to make this connected, and we make our fresh graduate more ready to work at the clinical side. So I know there is a lot of work, and I really appreciate Dr. Khalid and the team initiatives for a program for Medina that will support this transition. And it is, believe me, from different perspectives. It's not only the transition, it's from start to the, until they will become competent at their bedside. We can talk about this more. I will just give the floor to my, colleagues to add to this event. Thank you very much.
Now with Mr. Mohammed Al-Bloui, give us what you like to add from governmental perspective, from governmental hospital perspective.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I would like to thank Dr. Khalid, Dean of the College of Nursing, and Dr. Muhammad, and all attendants regarding this celebrating of International Nurses Day. When Mr. Ahmed, he mentioned all the day for nurses. And Nurses International Day as a voice to lead, because we are in the backbone of the healthcare system, and we have chance for the change of the healthcare system, especially in the government hospital, when Dr. Khalid sharing with us about who celebrated this event. King Fahad, more than 500 bed, is provided service for the city of Medina, a lot of visitors, Hajj and Umrah. And Alhamdulillah, we have subsidization more than 70% from all the total nurses, especially in the critical area, for example, ICU, more than 30%. And we have a future to increase this number. And also the ER, because more than 60 years, Saudization in the emergency department. And we have distinguished cooperation with the College of Nursing, with Dr. Khalid, how many researchers we are published, and we have another plan for published, inshallah. According to the International Nursing Day, a voice to lead, we have now strategic from the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to support the nurses, and we have the good chance for the nurses the becoming in the healthcare systems, because we need to increase the number of nurses according to the vision of 2030. We have also a challenge to increase the attractiveness of nurses working in the hospital or the government hospitals. We try to do the best, because we are a lot of number of the nurses in the healthcare systems, and all the students, mashallah, from College of Nursing in طيبة. We are scientifically and skillful to do the best work in our system. Really, we have the chance for the change. Really, we have chance for to achievement the goal of the healthcare system in the Saudi vision of 2030. Inshallah, we hope to increase the number, because during the pandemic, we facing a lot of the issues regarding the termination and to transformation to another sectors. We have future, inshallah, to do the best بإذن ta'ala.
Shukran, Mr. Mohammed. Now, Mr. Zaid Al-Zu'abi from National Guard. What's your opinion about it?
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you for your invitation today for this great day, and happy Nurses Day to all our nurses everywhere in government and private sectors. And this is our day. This is our chance to empower our nurses to lead. And always we support our nurses and empower them to talk and to speak up for patient safety. National Guard, nursing, services, Medina here, we also started this since long time. We created some policies and some guidelines to empower our nurses. And our nurses here, they attending like today, they aware about that when we talk about stop line policies and guidelines. This is to empower nurses to speak up always for patient safety. Now, in this day, I need to thanks Dr. Khalid Al-Juhani and his colleagues for this invitation and this arrangement and this coordination with all healthcare sectors in Medina to discuss issues related to nursing and how to improve nursing in Medina. We'll not talk about National Guard, King Faisal, or Ministry of Health or private sectors. We're talking about Medina. How to cover the shortage of nurses in Medina and also in Saudi Arabia. This is also extend to Prince Faisal bin Salman direction also since long time, and this was like lately, like 1 week before Ramadan, we attended his meeting, and he clearly direct National Guard to liaise with طيبة University. الأخ صلاح الحرب من الشؤون البشرية بجوز تواصل معكم مع الدكتور عبد العزيز السراني to increase the student numbers and like to get more candidates for healthcare sectors. Also in Al Rayyan College, we make our communication to ensure that increasing the numbers, but at the same time, our message as a clinical people, we are not academic, but our message to our colleagues in academic field to focus on the quality of the students and how we can make sure that they are ready for the to get this message and to get the to pass this message also for their colleagues in the workplace, that how we can in what they call it, get a quality the quality of nurses that who are graduated from the universities. Unfortunately, we found that especially the private college, they are not like up to our expectation, but we send our representative from training and development to some private college, and we talk and we liaise with them to ensure the readiness of those candidates in the workplace. Our message also in Medina here, you know, how to retain the nurses in Medina, how to attract our also nurses to come to Medina. This is two sides we need to focus on it. First, to retain that, we need to ensure our nurses happy and satisfied, to create the environment that they love the work and stay in their hospital wherever they are. To change and to attract people to come to Medina, how to change the image of nurses in Saudi Arabia. His Excellency Dr. Bandar Qanawi gave a clear direction since 2 months for all nursing services of National Guard to create some videos and materials, and those to be sent to Saudi Arabia channels like audio and visual channels to change the image of nursing profession in the society. Unfortunately, we still found some materials in the channels and in TV, in where like even sometimes some comments in it in social media about nurses as a profession. We are great profession. We need like people to know that. We need people to change their mentality and mind about nursing image and how important this profession in the society. Unfortunately, again, I'm saying that, you know, still we need to work in that from academic side, from clinical side. All people need to ensure that the nurses always be proud about themselves, and this profession is like the other profession, like engineering, like physicians, like, you know, when talk about nurses, that we need to be proud that when we talk about I am a nurse. But unfortunately, this image is still there. The people look to the nurses as like underestimation or under-humiliating, unfortunately. But with academic and also media effort, I am sure that will be changed, inshallah, soon. And with the vision of 2030, the vision is clear that, you know, to cover the nurses by 2030, to cover the shortage of nurses. As you know now, worldwide, we have 7.5 million shortage of nurses globally. And the studies shows that by 2025, the shortage will reach up to 10 millions, which is a huge shortage. If we did not make like clear plan and work on this vision to cover the shortage, definitely we will suffer. Mainly our patient will suffer. And we cannot find like later on like nurses to work with our patients, especially with new pandemics that, you know, you found it. It's come every day. We hear about monkey pandemics and also corona. All this makes stress on nurses, and they keep them like leaving this profession. Unfortunately, the retirement like age for nurses is very short, and not like the other profession. We need you to work in this vision. I know it's very short time. We need like to talk more about our issues, but I will give the mic for my colleagues. Yes. Thank you very much.
Sure, we will leave time for more discussion. Just now, we'll take your 5 minutes. You take 2 minutes extra, Mr. Zaid. We'll take it from you later.
That means I have 3 minutes only, no? Yes. Thank you.
Dr. Nada, I'm sure if, because you are from an academic background, you might take it from educational background to share with us what you want.
Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Thank you for sharing and coming with us in this International Nurses Day. I'd really like to congratulate every one of you here in this room for being a nurse. I'm sure that every one of you is proud to be a nurse, is proud to have this success and to reach to this point, wherever you are. You are a student, you are a faculty, you are working in the hospital. I mean, 100% that every one of you would know that you have reached a level of success and you are looking to give more, inshallah. So happy Nurses Days again. So elaborating in the educational background, I just like to reflect from my experience as a student, being a student, graduating from King Abdulaziz University, having my work experience in all these Ministry of Health hospitals, having my summer in the National Guard. I have been always doing my summer training in the National Guard. I had my training in King Faisal Specialist Hospital in Jeddah. So having the experience and having this opportunity to go through all these institutions had given me the opportunity to maybe, I would say, looking to support our students or seeing the gaps. As Mr. Al-Khaibari had said, that they had a very fantastic nursing internship. I mean, graduating in 2004, you do the math. I was one of the privileged students to join their internship, where they call it, actually not the internship, where they call it the preceptorship. They took us as new nurses. They had give us opportunity to go through a specific program. And I remember that I was the first nurse to work in a pediatric unit. And there was a large doubt that should I work as a new grad in pediatric unit. I don't have the background. And they made it clear that if I don't pass a specific exam, I won't be able to do. And I was happy that I really had the opportunity to pass these exams. So imagine since 2004 until now, what kind of accumulation of experience King Faisal had in order to support our new grad and our internship student. So reaching to the point here to be a faculty in طيبة University, we know that we are preparing, or we are the gate for our students to the nursing profession. We know that we need to prepare those students in order to face the challenges, in order to be honest, to face this burnout, in order to be able to go the extra mile, in order to be passionate about their patients. I know that every one of us, when we start entering the profession, and that is, we need to be honest with ourselves, just Mr. Zarbi said. There's still some images about the nursing, but compare between 20 years ago until now, the profession has really changed. Now we have the number of nurses that we cannot accept them to the nursing school. So this is something good, that nurses are actually male or female, they are attending to the profession. But how we can really help those students to transition and to have the perfect outcome in order to work and in order to give the real care and in order to satisfy with their job and to have the best outcome for the patient is the challenge. And this is what we really need to work. To work between the hospitals, that the institution, and between the teaching that we had. And as Dr. Marwani had said, the 2 years of Corona had showed, what we can do as a nurse in the education, in the field at work. So that means we have a lot of, power to do, but we need to join. We had been always working ununited. We really need to work as a one hand. If we don't speak to each other, if we don't speak for ourselves, no one will speak. That's why we as a nurses need to be the voice for ourselves. No one will speak for us. No one will come and speak about the staff nurse and what's the complaint that she's having. No one will come and speak about the burnout that she's facing while she's caring during the COVID. No one will speak about the burden that the manager is facing with the shortage, with the resources, with everything. If we don't come together, if we don't work together, and this is the opportunity. COVID had bring a golden plate to us. If we don't take this opportunity through the academia or the hospitals, it will be wasted. So I hope that this first international or this first gathering will be the first thing for us to come together, to bring our voices, to give the feedback, whatever you have been complaining about, wherever you have been facing in your education or in the hospital setting, in order to improve. It will be a baby step. It will be step by step. But we know that by working together, we can reach to the point that we could be 100% proud to each other. I won't be saying 100%, 90%, because the quality, we're gonna go back and forth until we reach 99%.
Thank you, Dr. Nada. Actually, I think all of you maybe, and most of you here share the same ideas about the importance of nursing and the problem with nursing. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed some area of weaknesses, area of underinvestment. That's why maybe it's a good time for the sub-theme of this year, which is investment in nursing and respect right to secure global health. because I believe shortage in nursing is not a threat to the nursing profession. It's a threat to the public, to the patients. Both quantity and quality of nurses should be improved. Nursing as a profession after the pandemic shouldn't be the same as nursing before. I read somewhere that nurses not an angels of mercy. They are not heroes. Nursing is a profession. It's like any other profession. It should be treated as profession. Profession need to be developed by the profession's people. No one from outside nursing will come to guide the nursing development, especially here in Saudi Arabia. Maybe lately we are maybe fortunate enough that we have the highest possible support from Prince Mohammed bin Salman. There is an initiative for improving nursing, make nursing profession attractive. So we should take this as my valuable colleagues mentioned. But how we do that? This is maybe the big question, or $1 million question. I'll leave some question for the audience. I know we might finish earlier than scheduled, but I'll give chance to questions to enhance or enrich our discussion. No question from the Dean allowed. No democracy.
Everybody, I'm here. Who will speak in Arabic? Do you want to speak in Arabic or in English? I got the permission from English speakers to speak in Arabic. Okay, is it Arabic or English? English or Arabic? English? Arab. طيب. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اليوم ما حلبس لبس الأكاديمي، هتكلم كتنفيذي سابق إن صح التعبير. السؤال اللي بيطرح نفسه، سمعنا وجهة النظر من الزملاء وسمعنا كلام كثير، وكل يوم أنا بقرأ وبسمع نفس الكلام. السؤال اللي يطرح نفسه، طيب إذا كان نفس الكلام بيطرح، أتكلم عن نفسي من 30 سنة، وش الجديد؟ يعني يا إنه الكلام اللي بينقال غير صحيح، يا إحنا ما إحنا فاهمين. صح ولا لا؟ فأنا أبغى توضيح لهذا النقاط. مثلا لما أستاذ دكتور زيد أنت ذكرت إنه وجهة نظر المجتمع للتمريض تراها للآن سيئة أو غير يعني جيدة. أنا بسألك سؤال أعلى، طيب وجهة نظركم أنتم يا التنفيذيين في التمريض ما هي؟ اللي أنا أتكلم كتنفيذيين، كأطباء، كجهات مشغلة للجهات المستشفيات وما غيره. ما هي وجهة النظر؟ طبعا ما أنا محتاج إنه يعبر عنها، أبغى دلائل إنه في عملية تغيير. الناس تبي تسمع عملية تغيير حقيقية. وأنا بذكر هنا إحنا ما إحنا جالسين ننتقد، إحنا جالسين نفحص الوضع الراهن، لأنه حتكون في خطة للمنطقة على أساس نقوم عليها. فنحتاج أن تقوم بخطة، إنك يكون عندك نيد أسسمنت واضح. فأحتاج منكم طال عمرك.
طبعا احنا we are in fully believe. I am a nurse actually. I'm not saying that I am basically I am a nurse actually. But by the way, I have two bachelor in nursing and in law, you know, but I choose in nursing, and I am always proud to be a nurse and to say I am a nurse. طبعا احنا in Bamba I am saying that we give the full support for our nurses. We give them good benefit. We provide them good environment in nursing, and to change the image of nursing in public, this is first media responsibility. And our Excellency Dr. Bandar Al-Qanawi also, he gave a clear direction on that, to produce and to create some materials like videos, like messages, posters, wherever that we participate and we go, that we need to give this message for society that nurses, as other professions and it is even sometimes more. This message that we need to send it like for the people in public and also in universities. Sometimes we found that a lot of graduated like nurses, but unfortunately, when you look to the workplace where they went, some of them they retired early and some of them did not work in nursing. Because some ladies that, oh, my husband, he is not accepting that to work as a nurse. The nurses also, some people go to academia. I mean, this is the normal flow. Some people go to academia, some people go to the clinical area. But this image of society need like to, from all of us, no one can, as you mentioned, that come from outside of nursing and change this image. Unfortunately, you will find some physicians in the hospitals. They are work parallelly with nursing, but still not convinced of the nursing like importance and the nursing as a profession. This old fashion of people, we need to work on it and to make sure that the new colleagues, that they will not have the same message or the same concept about nursing.
Okay.
We need to emphasize from all sectors, like not healthcare sectors. I'm talking about even the other ministries, the media, the universities, to change this image.
The good thing
Now-
that you just mentioned that you are a lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, and you can
But-
sell your idea, right?
يعني هي to be honest يعني الاخوان عندنا في الميديا بجوز بيسمعوني الان هم شغالين الان to produce some videos that will be in Saudi TV channels to change this. حتى احنا من I am talk about it, you know, recently, you know, even in West, with all respect, you found some materials that underestimate
طيب
the
أنا
nursing.
باقي معي وقت قليل جدا. أنا كان دوري بس محامي الشيطان، أخوكم محامي الشيطان. الله يجزاك خير. فأسمع الأسئلة الآن لأن أبغى الأسئلة تكون دايركت تنفعنا في عملية.
هو مش السلام عليكم. مدام هدى تشيف نيرسينج اوفيسر ساوثي جيرمان هوسبيتال مدينة. اهلا بكم جميعا وهابي نيرسز داي فور اول. انا بس بطلب طلب من الدكتور خالد لان هو اللي واخد الرياده والرئاسه في النيرسينج
من الاخير.
ان احنا نشتغل على المال براكتس انشورنس للنيرسينج. ده مهم جدا لان هو زي يعني ليه كل المستشفيات بتبحث عن المال براكتس انشورنس للدكتورز is the first to protect them and the hospital will cover them for any malpractice issue. And nursing, no. If the nurse is making a mistake, she will be penalized.
Actually, there is. You are asking Zaid, right? No. Okay. No, the question is, as experts in forensic nursing, and I have attended some cases. From outsider, yeah, it looks like this, but if you get inside, that's mean every nurse will pay something like $2,000 yearly basis, which is extra burden. And when you look how many nurses get sued, it's just maybe one of each 100 or maximum two of each 100 cases, which is not that much. However, and even if the cases that I work on, including nursing, what we call it, they call it nursing malpractice, you will find at least 50% related to the organization, which will be paid by the organization. It's seldom that you found something happening. The question is, yes, right. Can nurses do it personally? Yes, they can do. Do you think it's a good step for the future? I don't know, because we need to do more assessment. That's what I think. Unless it's part of the organizational part that they will do the compensation. But again and again, it will come to the nurse by the end of the day.
Yani we can take it as a matter of protection for the nursing, and it will give them more confident in their work that they are already, their back is protected.
Sure.
We have to look at the benefit of our nursing. Thank you.
Another question? Yes, Samir.
السلام عليكم يعطيكم العافية. سمير أحمد الصالح مستشفى الملك فهد Nursing Education Department. Dr. Khalid said what's new every time repeating conferences, symposium, but still I think we are treating the symptoms, we are not treating the underlying causes. That what keeps the nurses always feeling they are lower level. How we can treat that one? If we are nurses, we are looking to each other with different level. I mean, we are looking to each other different level based on nationality. We are not looking to each other based on the competence and the skills that people are gaining. How can we rationalize that? You can see some of the positions in some hospitals will be open for some certain nationalities, or we have great differences in the wages based on the nationalities. This is a great threat for retention, staff retention, and yet still keep the private sector, which they have the more control over the recruitment policies in their hospital, yet they are recopying the problem that it's been in the governmental sectors, that the nurses have different wages based on their nationalities, not based on their skills and that one, and their competence. Isn't it the time now to change this concept? And if it is the time, how can we change it?
Actually, just part of your question is related to the regulations, because since the beginning, they are regulating the salaries for, especially for non-Saudis, based on their nationality, either if they're West or from Arab area, based on different things. So there is scale actually coming from the government itself. I don't know if the private sector is regulated by this, but it's like this. Even here at the university, when it comes to, for example, when I get a professor from the West, the scale will be different. Not because I want this. This is coming from the government. And you have something like, yeah.
Yes, actually, شكرا الأخ العزيز. طبعا بالنسبة لموضوع السالاريز, this is, as Dr. Khalid mentioned, that they also look to the expenses and the in their countries. Like, you know, with all respect that they compare that each like country, how's the expenses and how's the salaries in their countries, and depend on that they give the salaries. And I think it is fair enough that, to talk about this particular, to ensure that how to attract people and to come to work, to come and work in your hospital. Now, basically from the competency side, that we need to make sure, and also this is related to our colleagues in Saudi German hospital. Before the nurses, like, being sued, that, we need to ensure that they are competent enough. We need to prepare them for the work and to ensure that they are skillful before come at the bedside. Second thing, workplace is like the other profession, like physicians, the others, and this challenges it's everywhere. To ensure that our nurses are competent, first we need to come to the university. Did they get the enough knowledge and skills to come to the work site? Second thing, each hospital need to ensure that you have a strong education department to engage those staff in orientation and competencies program and courses to ensure they are ready to be at the bedside. If we put our nurses in risk and put them without knowledge or skills, definitely they will be sued. They will be also underestimated by community and underestimated by patient and their relative, because they are not competent enough to provide the care for the patients. Now, الأخ هنا طبعا يعني أثار, and he talked about very sensitive point. Definitely, we look to all our nurses are same. They are not different. Definitely, the valuables of nurses at the bedside. Whoever provide for the patient, like the good care, the quality of care, definitely this will be appreciated and supported by higher management. And I think that's one of the National Guard vision, that always whoever is smart, whoever is safe for the patient to be supported. وبعد الدكتور خالد في زميلنا الأستاذ صلاح الحربي مدير الشؤون البشرية حاب إنه يضيف إضافة بسيطة بعد إذن الإخوان.
بس قبل أنا هضطر أطلع قبل معالي الرئيس، أتمنى من أي إنسان عنده أي اقتراح أو فكرة ممكن أنها تعمل على بناء التمريض كجسد واحد في منطقة المدينة، أنه يعني يتصدق علينا ويزكي علمه ويرسل لي إياها سواء بالواتس أو بالإيميل أو يتواصل مع الزملاء. إحنا محتاجين دعمك خلال السنة القادمة، وأتمنى تكون منطقة المدينة من تقود المملكة في التغيير، وأن نحقق توجه سمو أمير المنطقة. أخذنا جميع الدعم الآن، لدينا لجنة متخصصة في هذا الموضوع، الباقي عليكم أنتم. فبعد سنة حنحتفل، يا نقول حققنا خلال السنة الماضية تقدم، يا نقول احنا جلسنا نندب حظنا ونرمي على الآخر. فالآن الملف ملفكم والكورة عندكم. أعتذر في كمل السادة.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يعطيكم العافية على الاستضافة اليوم الجميل المثري. أنا سؤالي في الحقيقة إلى عمادة التمريض في جامعة طيبة. المدينة حظيت في السنوات الأخيرة في إضافة أعداد كبيرة من الأسرة، سواء من القطاع الخاص أو من القطاع الحكومي، وهذا ما أحدث إلى بومينج في سوق العمل، خصوصا في قطاع التمريض لل5 سنوات القادمة. لو بنعد كم مستشفى جديد فتح في المدينة، وبالمقابل كم جامعة أو كم كلية تمريض بتخرج حتى تغطي هذا الاحتياج. احتياج التمريض احتياج عالمي، ما هو بس سعودي أو محلي، ناهيك في منطقة لا يوجد فيها إلا جامعة حكومية واحدة. يجب علينا العمل بتكاتف عالي للتخطيط لسد هذا الاحتياج. نسبة وتناسب عدد الأسرة في ال5 سنوات القادمة قد تتجاوز 1500 سرير في المنطقة. في المقابل كم خريج سعودي نيرس في ال5 سنوات القادمة؟ إضافة لذلك يجب تحوير بعض الوظائف الصحية الذي اكتفى فيها سوق العمل، أو التقليل بعدد المخرجات التعليمية حتى لا يزيد عدد العاطلين في البلد. أنا متأكد أن هذا الفلاج عند العمادة، ولكن أتمنى مشاركتنا في ما هي الخطة وما هي عدد المقاعد التي سوف تزيد في الجامعة للسنوات القادمة، لأن هذا سوف يخدم مستشفى الحرس أو المستشفيات الأخرى في المنطقة. شكرا لكم.
شكرا أستاذ صالح. طيب بس عشان دكتور أحمد عنده تعقيب على السؤال اللي قبل، بس برد على الجزئية هذه في ما يخص الفيوتشر بلانينج اوف student nursing student. Actually you cannot increase the number without taking other area into account. For example, here there is a direction to increase the number of students for sure. This is a national strategy. But how we increase the number, this should be based on realistic goals. We increasing the number of students each year by 10 to 15%. We have faced some problems related to the clinical placement. Now in Medina, before King Fahd and Uhud, Al-Miqat, Al-Ansar, now Al-Ansar is outside the surface. Uhud is not 100% functioning. The new hospital Medina Munawwara is not yet 100% functioning. So we don't have problem with academic teaching. We can increase the number, we can double the number of students by next year. But where we can send the student for clinical training, this is the big challenge, and this is what we are facing. So with the expansion of the number of hospital, we might also go with that direction إن شاء الله. أستاذ أحمد ممكن بس الجزئية اللي كنت بتكلم عنها.
شكرا لك. أنا أعتقد أنه our gathering today is to answer the question, what is next? And I believe this is the question with everyone. Everyone is asking this question. So a lot of, knowledge that we have about our situation, all the issues, a lot of publications done in different, academic, non-academic, and clinical areas. So what's next? I believe that this is the question that we need to, start to answer this question. Plus, there are transparency in all activities are going, has to be there. I can, say some things that there are a group of panel are working now to increase the number of nurses within Medina and Munawwara, and طيبة is leading this with King Faisal Specialist Hospital, National Guard, and Ministry of Health. So that's mean we started to work together, but I think we need just to be transparent. People, within Medina, they need to know what's going on and where we are, and we should, share all these KPIs with our colleagues. In terms of, our colleagues mentioned here about, the increasing the number or, changing some jobs. There is a great work has been done so far. So there's طيبة is, I think, they are working on accelerated program, which is this is also one of the steps. Other thing is the those who graduated from the science colleges. So they are now they have a program and Saudi Commission for Health Specialties to be nurse assistant at this stage. But the accelerating program is going to help us and to move forward. I believe there are a lot of things, but we need to just be, have more gathering like this to talk about where we are, what solutions, and work together in terms of putting these solutions in place. And Dr. Khalid mentioned something very important, that we have to be, to work in a scientific way. We have to do our, need assessment, and we do our analysis before we start interventions, because a lot of interventions has been done and the majority fail because we didn't start right. I believe now we are educated enough. We have, great leaders in nursing, and I think, and we have, Saudis and also experts that they can share with us these steps, important steps that unique for Medina region. What works for Medina might not work for Riyadh or for Mecca region or other regions. So we need to be, more data driven, and we need to work together on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. I think we have to close this session. There is, I think, endless thoughts and debate about this. Nursing, especially here in Saudi Arabia, is a relatively new profession. The number of qualified nurses nationally increasing. I think we expect the best in future. We need to continue the good job and learn from the experience of other countries who actually started in nursing profession early. I believe education, research, policy making, influence, these are the most three important areas that we need to work on in future. I thank you all, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Mohammed Al-Bloui, Mr. Zaid Zabi, Dr. Nada Abu Al-Ala, for your participation. And I believe that now the president of the universities here is taking a tour in the exhibition, and he will come here. So please stay here, and we will start the closing remarks for this symposium. Thank you for being here.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. في نهاية برنامجنا لهذا اليوم يشرفنا معالي رئيس الجامعة الأستاذ الدكتور عبد العزيز بن قبلان السراني، الذي لم يألو جهدا على دعم كلية التمريض وعملت حقا وليس مجاملة في دعم معامل المحاكاة ودعم الاستقطاب ومن أكثر من جنسية في عملية التدريب ورفع الطاقة الاستيعابية للقبول في المدينة المنورة أو في الفروع. فنسأل الله أن يكتب ما قدم لهذا المهنة زكاة علم وصدقة جارية بإذن الله إلى يوم الدين. لعلنا معالي الرئيس نستأنس بكلمة لمعاليكم بهذه المناسبة يوم التمريض العالمي 2022، فنتمنى منكم كلمة طال عمرك لأبنائكم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أسعد الله يومكم بكل خير، حياكم الله جميعا لهذه الفعالية حقيقة الجميلة على قلبي. ويمكن أنا غبت عن هذه الجامعة يمكن لمدة أسبوع أو 10 أيام حيث أصبت بكورونا ولله الحمد، واليوم عودا حميدا وأنا بينكم اليوم، ولعل هذه أول فعالية يعني نحضرها بعد يعني الغياب. لعلي بداية يعني أبارك للكلية اعتماد برنامجها، اعتماد البرنامج التمريض، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى هي بداية لقادم أيام جميلة. ولا شك أن هذا الاعتماد أتى بعد جهد كبير من الكلية عميدا ووكلاء وأعضاء تدريس وطلاب. ولا شك أن الحراك التي تقوم به كلية التمريض اليوم، وهي أحد الكليات المعنية حقيقة بكل ما تعني الكلمة، حراك كبير مقدر ومجهود كبير يشكرون عليه. كيف لا، وهذه الكلية الآن أصبحت من الكليات المعنية وسوف يكون لها دعما كبيرا. ويمكن تذكرت المرة الماضية بعدد من الدعم لهذه الكلية سواء على مستوى التوظيف سواء على مستوى أعضاء التدريس، لأن الكلية نتاجها اليوم أصبح هي الأكثر ديماندز وأكثر طلبا بالتوظيف، وهذا ما سوف أيضا كذلك إن شاء الله تعالى نزيده دعما في قادم الأيام. أيضا من اهتمام يعني سمو أمير المنطقة بهذه الكلية أن عمل لجنة كبيرة برئاسة رئيس الجامعة، بوجود أيضا كذلك المدير التنفيذي للمجمع أو للتجمع الخاص الطبي بالمدينة المنورة، وأيضا مستشفى التخصصي للوقوف حقيقة على مهنة التمريض واحتياجها بالمدينة المنورة، ورفع سقف هذا الأداء وهذا العمل بحيث أن يكون إن شاء الله تعالى عمل كبير. وهذا ما سوف إن شاء الله تعالى يتم في المستقبل، بحيث هناك شراكات قوية مع المستشفيات الموجودة في المدينة المنورة لصقل ورفع الاحتياجات الجيدة. اليوم لدينا مستشفى تخصصي طبعا يحتاج حقيقة كفاءات عالية. أيضا لدينا مستشفى الحرس الوطني، وأيضا مستشفى سواء المستشفى الخاصة أو مستشفى الأمير سلطان العسكري. هذه كلها حقيقة تحتاج إلى كفاءات عالية، ناهيك عن الاحتياج الخاص بالتجمع بمستشفياتها المختلفة. وهذا يجعل أيضا كذلك العمل لهذه الكلية يجب أن يكون على مستوى عالي، وبالتالي الكلية مقبلة حقيقة على كثير من الدعم بإذن الله تعالى في قادم الأيام، خاصة في الهيكل التنظيمي والهيكل أيضا كذلك البشري الموجود والتدريسي بصفة الخصوص، والفني أيضا كذلك، كل لرفع السقف إن شاء الله تعالى بإذن الله. حقيقة أبارك هذا العمل دكتور خالد حقيقة من الشخصيات يعني حتى لما يأتيني في المكتب يعني من يوم يبدأ 1 2 3 4 5 يمكن حتى ما بديني أقول لك كيف حالك عساك طيب، هلا هو منتهي وممشي ورايح. قلت يا ربي يعني غير البقية يمكن في بعضهم ناخذ نص ساعة ثم بعد كذا يقول ترى أنا عندي 1 2 3 4. لكن حقيقة من الكفاءات الجيدة والتي رفعت الكلية يعني مع زملائه الموجودين الذين رفعوا سقف هذه الكلية. وأنا أعدكم وهذا وعدا بأن هذه الكلية سوف تأخذ نصيبا من الاهتمام والدعم بإذن الله تعالى في قادم الأيام. وحقيقة أبارك هذا العمل في اليوم العالمي للتمريض، وهي لديها فعاليات كثيرة، سواء المعرض الجميل اللي رأيناه ووجود عدد كبير من المستشفيات التي أيضا دعمت هذا المعرض، أيضا الفعاليات الموجودة لديكم بالنسبة لبعض المحاضرات وغيرها. يعني حقيقة أبارك هذا العمل وأبارك هذا التوجه إن شاء الله تعالى، وبإذن الله لدى الجامعة عدد كبير إن شاء الله تعالى أيضا من الفعاليات القادمة بإذن الله تعالى. وأدعو الجميع أمانة يوم الغد خاصة، يعني يوم الغد حيكون للرجال إن شاء الله تعالى بإذن الله حفل التخرج أبنائنا الطلاب بإذن الله تعالى بوجود سمو سيدي أمين المنطقة، وإن شاء الله تعالى أيضا حيعقبها لمدة 6 أيام حفل التخرج للطالبات. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يبارك لهم عملا ووجهة بإذن الله تعالى. دكتور خالد أشكركم حقيقة على هذه الجهود الكبيرة، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى التوفيق والسداد. شكرا لكل من ساهم، شكرا لكل من عمل، شكرا لكل من بذر بذرة حقيقة عمل تستحقها هذا الوطن، تستحقها هذه المدينة المباركة. ونراكم دائما على خير بإذن الله تعالى، وإلى الآن توكلنا على الله. شكرا لكم.
أما الآن فليتفضل معالي رئيس جامعة طيبة الدكتور عبد العزيز بن قبلان السراني مشكورا بتكريم شركاء النجاح في هذا الملتقى. مستشفى الأمير سلطان للقوات المسلحة. مستشفى الملك فيصل التخصصي ومركز الأبحاث. مستشفى الأمير محمد بن عبد العزيز للحرس الوطني. إدارة الرعاية الصحية المنزلية. مستشفى الملك فهد. مستشفى السعود الألماني. مستشفى الحياة الوطني. الدكتورة آن بلندن. الأستاذ أحمد الخيبري. الأستاذ عزرول عزام بن عبد العزيز. الأستاذ زيد الزعبي. الأستاذ محمد البلوي. الدكتورة ندى أبو العلا. الدكتورة أمل مراد. الدكتور محمد الجهني. والآن درع شكر وتقدير مقدم من كلية التمريض للشركة الراعية شركة صلات الأعمال. لا يشكر الله من لا يشكر الناس. كلية التمريض تتشرف بتقديم درع تذكاري لمعالي رئيس الجامعة لدعمه المستمر واللامحدود في إقامة وإنجاح هذا الملتقى.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. تحيا بكم تحيا بكم يا معالي الدكتور عبد العزيز السراني. تحيا بكم كل أرض تنزلون بها كأنكم في بقاع الأرض أمطار وتشتهي العين وتشتهي العين يا معالي الدكتور وتشتهي العين منكم منظرا حسنا كأنكم في بقاع الأرض أزهار. لو علمت الدار من زارها فرحت لو علمت الدار بمن زارها فرحت واستبشرت ثم باست موضع القدم وأنشدت بلسان الحال قائلة أهلا وسهلا أهلا وسهلا بكم يا دكتور عبد العزيز السراني. وفي الختام يا ساداتي. وفي الختام يا سادتي صلوا على الحبيب محمد، فكلكم صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صلوا عليه.